thanks and praise is due to Almighty Allah. We thank Him. We seek His help and forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evils within ourselves and the consequences of our evil deeds. Whoever Almighty Allah guides, none can lead that person astray. And whoever Almighty Allah leaves to go astray, none can bring that person back to guidance. I testify that there is no God but Almighty Allah, and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His final and last messenger. Verily, the most truthful speech is the book of Almighty Allah. The best guidance are the guidance of His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The worst of all affairs are newly invented matters into the religion of Islam, and any newly innovated matter into the religion of Islam leads to misguidance, and every misguidance leads to hellfire. Keeping malice, that is our topic for today. What is it like when you have a relative or a friend or a brother or a business partner, and then you refuse to talk to him for 2 days, for 3 days, or for 1 full day? What do you gain? What do you benefit? Some of us are so impatient with life, and some of us do not understand life to the extent that when a little thing happens, that is it, we keep malice. We don't talk to each other. We don't look at each other. We don't do anything for each other simply because one person offended you. Then you keep malice with that person. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. My dear brothers and sisters out there, whatever you're doing and whatever you do in your life today or in the past, ensure that you try as much as possible not to have issues with any of your friends, any of your brothers, any of your sisters, because it is the wrong thing. If you sit down just because of one simple misunderstanding and then you refuse to talk to somebody, it is a sin for you not to speak to your brother. It is a sin for you not to say anything to your brother. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that if a brother or a Muslim stays for 3 days without talking to his brother, then his prayers, his salat will be hanging. Imagine if you stay for 3 days without speaking to your brother, without speaking to the other wife, without speaking to your fellow business partner or with your colleagues at the office. For 3 days, your salat will be hanging. Your salat will only be accepted when you start speaking to that person. Your salat will only be accepted when you start speaking to that person. And the Prophet added again by saying that the best amongst those two people is the one who starts talking to the other person first. Keeping malice creates problem and friction in a family. Keeping malice creates a huge psychological trauma within each and every human being in the society. Today, because a man is keeping malice with his wife, the family cannot move forward. Because a wife is keeping malice with her husband, the family cannot move forward. Because the other Kisha is keeping malice with the other Kisha, the family cannot move forward. Because they are keeping malice with each other in their family, so the children cannot move forward. Imagine if your prayers for 3 days did not go anywhere. It's just like when you say somebody goes to see a boka or a babalao or commits shirk. What happens? Or he takes alcohol or she takes alcohol. It means that the prayer of that person will not be accepted for 40 days. Now, if you do not talk to your fellow brother or your fellow sister or your husband or your wife or your brother or your sister or your cousin or your business partner or your colleague, wallahi tallahi, your prayers will not be accepted for 3 days. It will be shaking. It will be hanging. Oh, my dear brothers and sisters, keeping malice is not accepted in the religion of Islam. Keeping malice is not accepted in the religion of Islam. If somebody offends you, you need to approach that person and speak to that person. Tell the person your mind. Speak out or spit out your mind. Tell the person that this is what you've done to me. I am not happy. If not for anything, swallow your pride.